I'm wondering about this, that Giannis's future. Is Giannis' future in Milwaukee attached in any way to the lottery? Could you see a scenario where a team, maybe not these teams that are really bad like Utah and Charlotte and Washington, let's say another team, maybe a little more established, wins the lottery tonight? Could you see a scenario where Cooper Flagg is traded to get Giannis? This has just been talked about. Yes, Paulie.
There's a little bit of news on Giannis that broke about an hour ago. Broke is, I don't know the right word. Shams Charania of ESPN said, quote, two-time NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo has not made any firm decisions, but for the first time in his career, he is open-minded about whether it's the best fit in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere. That's from Shams.
Okay.
And that's being delivered clearly from Giannis.
Yeah, and that's what I wonder about. Is he going to put pressure on Milwaukee and say, trade me? I want to be playing for championships again. And we're getting further and further away from that. But now, would I want to be the GM who trades the rights to Cooper Flagg to Milwaukee to get Giannis? No, I would not. Now, you're rolling the dice. You're saying, that Giannis is still going to be great at age, 30? And what are you saying about Cooper Flagg? Because I'd rather have somebody for 10 years than somebody for 5 years, if it's that kind of talent. If salary is going to be similar at some point, I want Cooper Flagg. I want people to, if I'm Washington, you want Cooper Flagg. If you're Utah, you want Cooper Flagg. Charlotte, you want Cooper Flagg. But if you're one of the more established teams, or maybe a playoff team who, lucked out and got into the lottery, would you consider bringing in Giannis, and would you give up Cooper Flagg? I can't imagine that happening. But people have spoken about that. Yeah, Pauline.
But going back to Giannis, 12 years you've had him if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. You got 12 unbelievable years. Your team was relevant. You got a title. It's almost a little apples and oranges like the St. Louis Cardinals with Albert Pujols. They got his 10 best years and almost at a bargain. Giannis didn't start making money until he was like 24, 25 years old. Would you consider trading him?
Yes.
While there's still hotness there?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
A year and a half from now, you can't trade him.
But I would trade him. I have to trust my front office that if we get players and get picks, then what are we going to be like? Can I trust my front office that will turn these picks and players into something that'll make us better? But it comes down to one thing. Does Giannis want to be in Milwaukee? That's it. That's the question I ask. Do you want to be here? And if you do, we'll have you involved in decisions. We want you involved. We want you to be happy here. We will continue to try to build around you. But if he doesn't and he's wavering, then that's where you have to look at the overall health of the franchise, and you're probably going to have to make a move. The question is, what can you get for him? What did Rudy Gobert brought 4 first-round picks? Is that right, Marvin? 4 first-round picks for him?
Either 4 or 5.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Wow. That's nuts.
Now, do you want to give up that? Like, what would you want in return for Giannis? And I think that's what I find interesting. Now you're going to hear, the Lakers. Okay, what are you giving up if you're the Lakers? Hey, Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect and Bronny James? Yes, Eaton.
I think it's so interesting, the Giannis and Cooper Flagg thing, because you're essentially trading one skill set for the other. It's like you're swapping strengths, right? One guy is more like a transition player who finishes at the rim, and the other dude is more of like a mid-range, extended sort of player.
But that Giannis, he's a 2-time MVP. You're hoping Cooper Flagg is going to be that. By all indications, all indicators, he's going to be a great player. I would not want to give that up. You got a talented kid, white kid from Maine who's going to be the number 1 overall pick. It's a novelty. And we've seen him go against Olympians. We held his own, and he's, 18? Maybe 19 now? I just couldn't see giving that up. Yeah, Paulie.
As far as trading for Giannis, a team that could, but should they? Oklahoma City has, I think, 8 first-round draft picks in the next 4 years. They could get rid of all of them easily. But would that mess up the apple cart that this great lineup is right now with Oklahoma City?
Well, you got to win one title. No, I would worry about the fallout. Hey, we won a title. Okay, you're on scholarship for a while. If I'm OKC and you say, hey, we can win a title in the next 2 or 3 years, but after that, it might not be pretty. If I'm the Rockets would be a team. Now you got a lot of talent. Whew. Throwing Giannis in there, yeah, Marvin.
And that's the thing. The Rockets have a lot of B players. They need an A player, which Giannis would provide.